Hello and welcome to the Peamcast, where we talk about progressing electronics and more. Today I'm going to be talking about an exciting announcement that Microsoft just made yesterday, which was May 21st, 2013. It has been awaited for about 8 years now. The new Xbox console, which they named the Xbox One. Now I'll explain here in a minute what the Xbox One name means. I'll explain that here in a minute. But the last Xbox console was the Xbox 360, and there's been rumors forever that it's going to be called the Xbox 720, but the 720 was actually just a nickname that people gave it. And now the official name is Xbox One. So I'm going to go over some specs about the system itself, but I'm not going to go over games or anything like that. Those will be for a different podcast, but this one specifically will just be about the console itself, and I'll be telling some information on it. So to start off, I'm going to say that it has a 8-core x86 AMD CPU, so it has an octa-core processor. This means that the system itself is a 64-bit system. It has 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, so it's got a lot more RAM than the Xbox 360 had. Also, it has a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and that comes with the Xbox. That is not external. This is all internal. So this comes directly with the Xbox. You don't have to pay extra. You get 500 gigabytes of hard drive space. And you may ask, why do you need 500 gigabytes of hard drive space? Well, as I'll say later on in the podcast, there is a Microsoft is starting to use the cloud more. They're starting to use the cloud with gaming and stuff like that. So you can now download a game. You can just put in your game and download it straight to your console, and that will take up some of that memory. So you will probably never use all 500 gigabytes unless you are a hardcore gamer, and then you can expand your memory even further. So you can probably expand it to several terabytes. I'm not even sure. Further in the future, you'll be able to expand it a lot. But as of now, it's 500 gigabytes because you can store so much stuff on it, like games. You can download them straight to the console. Like before, you could download it to the console, but you could not play it without the game in it. So the reason they did that before was for speed. You could download the game straight to your console before, and then you still had to put the disc in. But this was just people just did that so that you could load games faster. But now you can download it straight to your console and play it anywhere. So it's a bonus. Well, again, I'm gonna say something else about that. You do not have to have your disc everywhere you play it. So you can download your game straight to your console. It'll take up some of that memory, and you can play that game anywhere at all without the disc. You don't need the disc anymore. So that is awesome. I love that about this new console. So that's pretty awesome. So the actual optical drive itself is a DVD, CD, Blu-ray, and Xbox One game disc combo. So it's got DVD, which is obviously expected. It's got CD, which is obviously expected, and it can play the games, which is expected. But now it has Blu-ray, which is really, really weird because actually Sony is they are kind of partnered with Blu-ray and the Blu-ray Corporation, I guess. They're like partnered with them, and now Microsoft is on board with Blu-ray. So there's going to be even more competition between Sony and Microsoft with the Blu-ray accessory, I guess you can call it. But it's all in the console. I mean, the Blu-ray will be in the console. It's awesome. They finally added it, which is pretty cool. So it also has 3 USB ports, and this is not USB 2.0. This is USB 3.0. So that is good. It's fast transfer. It has 2 USB ports on the back and 1 on the left side, I believe. It also has an HDMI output, which is 4K video playback, which is absolutely insane quality. It's great graphics. It's got an HDMI input also, and just like the previous Xbox, the what came to be known as the Xbox 360 Slim, it has 802.11n Wi-Fi built in, so you do not need to connect it through Ethernet, but you can if you want to because it would be faster. But 802.11n Wi-Fi is awesome because it's backwards compatible with routers that are 802.11g or something like that. It's backwards compatible, so you can use 802.11n Wi-Fi with other routers that aren't 802.11n. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now I'm going to explain the name Xbox One, and I'm going to explain the whole look of the console itself because you may think it kind of looks ugly. Okay, the One in Xbox One, this is what they said in the announcement of the console. They said One means all in one. It's because this console is so advanced and so amazing that it has everything you could possibly need. It is all in one. It's an all-in-one entertainment system, literally. And I'll get to what I mean by that later on. I'll just keep going. This may be a long podcast, but I'm not so sure. But the One literally means all in one. So it's there. I mean, if you go to Xbox.com, I think it just says all in one Xbox One. I think that's what it says on their website. But that's what the One means. It just means it's an all-in-one entertainment system, and not just games. And I will explain all that here in a minute. Okay, so this is probably one of my personal favorite additions to the new console. It has side-by-side gaming and watching TV and Skype and all kinds of stuff and browsing and all kinds of stuff. It's got side-by-side. So you can be playing a game, not even pause it, and then open up a new window on the left side of your screen or the right side of your screen or something like that. On either side of your screen, you can just open up a new window and still be playing that game, and then watch TV on the other side. That's awesome. I personally love that because I've always wanted to, what if I want to watch TV and play a game? What if I want to do that? I don't have two TVs. So that now I can do it all in one. Now it's it's all in one. It's just side by side. Okay, so the home screen, this whole console is running a Windows kernel. So what I mean by Windows kernel, if you're not familiar with what that means, Windows kernel means the system will be Windows powered. So it will look very similar to Windows 8. It'll be very similar. It'll look just like it. So if you're used to Windows 8, you'll definitely get used to the Xbox One really fast. So it's the Windows kernel. You can also now group Skype with friends. Now, I think this is going to take over Party. If you go into Xbox Live and you get in a party, you can go up to I think it's 8 people. You can now, instead of doing that, but you can still be in a party with people, you can now group Skype. So you can actually see the person. How can you group Skype if a person doesn't have Kinect? Well, every single Xbox One comes with Kinect. So once you buy the console itself, you will also get a Kinect. But the downside of that is every single time you turn on your Xbox, the Kinect also has to be on. But what does that mean? Well, in order to turn on your Xbox, your Kinect has to be on. So it's both ways. They both have to be on. And that means your Kinect is always on, so the government could be secretly watching you. So technically, whenever your console is plugged in, your Kinect is on. So just unplug it at night so people aren't watching you when you're sleeping. Which is, I'll get to more information on the Kinect here in a minute, but it gets a little bit weirder. So aside from groups, okay, I've got a whole bunch of list of stuff here. So you can jump around to other things running in the background instead of going to the home screen. So what that means is you can, like I said, the side-by-side thing, this has a lot to do with that. If you remember, on the Xbox 360, if you wanted to go to your settings or something, you had to exit out of your game, go to your home screen, and then go to your settings and then change it, and then go back into your game and restart whatever you did. And that just got really annoying, and it took so long. Well, now all you have to do is you can do side by side. You can just press pause, and literally in about a second you can just say Xbox settings, and it'll have the settings on one side of your screen, and it'll have your gameplay on the right side. This all happens within a matter of seconds. You don't have to go to your home screen anymore. This all happens right here, and then you can just exit out of that real quick, and all your settings will change right there, or whatever. It's not just settings, but this happens with anything, like your music player. You can open up your music player, or if you want to watch a movie, you could just you can say Netflix open, and it'll open Netflix right on the screen. It'll be, your game will still be running, and it'll just be on the other side of the screen while Netflix is still open, so you can be watching a movie and playing a game at the same time. Or you can do this with anything, the internet, Netflix, anything you can possibly imagine. You can do side by side, Skype, anything. Okay, so the Xbox Live Gold membership will work on both Xbox 360 and Xbox One consoles. So what that means is if you buy a $60 gold membership for an Xbox 360, that automatically means you have Xbox Live for your Xbox One, which is awesome because you don't want to be spending $120 every year for Xbox Live on both consoles if you do Xbox Live on both consoles. And all your profile data and your profile information will transfer from your Xbox 360 to your Xbox One, which is awesome because it's all stored in the cloud. And which means that it's all stored in the cloud. That means every single console that you get on in the world, any console you get on, if you sign into your account, that means you have all of your information right there. Everything you have it's literally like your own console, because you can store games in the cloud, and you can play that anywhere else in the world. You can play that game without needing the disc. You don't need it. Okay, with the Xbox One, you can start playing games immediately when they install. When you install a game or when you put a disc into your system, it automatically installs that game to your console, to your hard drive. And right when you do that, you can instantly start playing it. You don't have to wait for it to install like you would on the 360, because installing a game on the 360, if you remember, it could take up to like 5-6 hours. You don't have to wait anymore to do that. It's instant because it's got an 8-core processor and it's got 8 gigs of RAM. It's just so fast. You can just play it immediately. And if you are one of those people who just absolutely hate updates, like myself, I hate those because they take so long to update. Well, you don't have to wait for those anymore. All those updates, because there's a side-by-side thing and running in the background now, you can just throw those updates off to the side. Make those run in the background. You still play the game. Just make those things update in the background while you're playing, because you don't want to be interrupted. Like, if you're in the middle of a Call of Duty, or if you're in the middle of wanting to play a Call of Duty game and you just press play and it says there's an update, just say install and continue to play. It'll install your update, but you will still be able to play while it's updating, which is awesome because you've never been able to do that before. You've always had to wait until it's over. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is sports games. And what I mean by sports games, I don't mean video games. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to talk about specific games or anything right now. Those are for future podcasts. But this means in real life. Sports games like NFL games or NBA games or any professional games or even college games. All real world stats in the real world, all stats in the real world that actually happen will sync instantly to your game. So like if you're playing NBA and you're playing with Kobe and he has 40 points in one game, those stats will instantly transfer to your game, and it'll say that on your game. It's never happened before. You've always had to wait a little bit, and those stats will transfer. Like if they get hurt, it'll automatically transfer straight to your console, and the person will be hurt. So it's like real world. And because the new console has 4K graphics, I'm not joking you, the graphics look literally real. They look like when I first saw the Call of Duty reveal trailer, literally it looks real. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but it looks amazing. But again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of those, of specific games. But now let's talk about the home screen and pinning things. So if you're used to Windows 7 or Windows 8, or I think even Windows Vista, you can pin things to the start bar down at the bottom, or the start menu, or to your home page or whatever. You can pin certain things there so that it always shows up. Now you can do that to your Xbox, to your home screen. You can just pin certain things so you can open them up quicker. Like if you want to pin Netflix, because if it's kind of hard to get to or something, like you don't want to go all the way to video and then find Netflix, whatever, you can just pin that straight to your home screen and open it up right from there. It's really cool because that means you can now customize your home screen. You can put things anywhere you want. You can drag things and place things anywhere at all that you want. And it's completely customizable. It's your home screen, just like Windows 8. Okay, now the big thing I've been talking about is TV. Now you've probably been thinking, how in the world am I going to watch TV if I'm on Xbox? You can't do that. Well, now you can. With the Xbox One, you can actually connect your console to cable or a satellite box and stream through your console. Now you may be thinking, why would I connect that to my box and watch? Like if you have DirecTV, you might think, why can't I just turn on my DirecTV receiver and just watch it on there instead of connecting that to my Xbox and watching it through my Xbox? That seems dumb. Well, the reason you can do it is because you can do side by side like you've never been able to do before. And you can switch from the internet or something else straight to TV, or you can put TV off to the left and play a game. You can do all kinds of things on one screen, but if you don't connect your satellite box or your cable to your Xbox, you can't do that. You cannot side by side do it. You have to connect your cable box or satellite box or cable to your console to be able to do that. So that's awesome. I love that. I'm definitely going to do that. Another thing is the internet. This is, they've never been able to do this before with the internet. Unfortunately, there's not Google Chrome, so we have to use the Internet Explorer, which really stinks because I really don't want to use Internet Explorer. But with the Internet Explorer, with the Internet Explorer, you can now use your voice to search anything. Like you can just say, search youtube.com or something like that, and it will automatically search just using your voice. Or you can use your phone or a tablet and search it straight from your phone or tablet. I'll talk about that again a little bit later. Okay, so now back to the Kinect. When I said this was a little creepy, I'm going to talk about it now. The Kinect 2.0. When you enter a room, it automatically signs into your account. So what do I mean by that? Well, the Kinect 2.0 it recognizes people so detailed, like it's so detailed that it recognizes you the second you walk into a room, and it'll sign into your Xbox account. Now that may get annoying for some people, but you can actually turn that feature off. So it could be an annoyance, and it could be not, or it could not be, or whatever. Now here's the creepy part. Kinect is always turned on. Well, this is another creepy part, but the other part was creepy, but this is even more creepy. The Kinect is always turned on, which means the camera is always active. And the Kinect 2.0 can see in the dark. So that's a little creepy. I'm sorry, but I think I'm going to unplug my console every night because I don't want, the camera to be active and it can see in the dark. With the Kinect 2.0, it has such advanced technology. It's not night vision, but it can see you in the dark. It's so weird. It maps out points in a room and can detect where you are in the dark. It is so weird. It's kind of creepy. Yeah. The Kinect 2.0, it is so advanced that it can even tell if you just squeeze your hand. It's amazing. It's just that detailed. And with the Kinect, you can also use your voice to do anything. Like if you want to turn on your console, you can just say Xbox on, and it'll turn on your Xbox. Or if you want to just, open up a game, you can say Xbox open, or Xbox do this, or Xbox this, or you can use your voice to do absolutely anything you want on your Xbox. It's awesome. Okay, so it picks up only your voice if you are in a crowded room. Which, what I mean by that, means if you are in a crowded room and somebody else says Xbox off, you don't want them to be able to turn off your Xbox. So when you first get your console, you program it to your voice specifically. So if there's like 10 people in your room and they're all talking, it will only pick up your voice specifically. It has that advanced of a microphone that it will literally only pick up your voice and not theirs. It will literally just ignore their voices and only focus on yours because it isn't your voice that when they're talking. Unless they sound exactly like you, then you're kind of screwed. But if they just sound a little bit not like you, then it will delete them. So it won't pay attention to them. So that's awesome. I love that. So they even improved the camera this time. The last camera, I think it was 720p camera, and there was like 3 sensors on the front. It kind of looked dumb. Well, this one only has 1 sensor on the front, and it's just just got one little camera on the front. It is a 250,000 pixel infrared depth camera, and it is 1080p. So this is a very high resolution camera that is able to do all this awesome funky stuff. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Kinect 2.0 is awesome. I'm not sure what kind of games are going to come out with it. I hope they're a lot better than the last ones because I didn't like the last ones. So now let's talk about the controllers a little bit. The controllers, they've got a little bit of a new design. Not really. They've kind of gone back to the old original Xbox controllers. The original Xbox controllers looked exactly like these. I'm pretty sure these ones were modeled after those, because these, they look so similar. The new controllers have impulse triggers. What an impulse trigger is like the R2 buttons, or I think it's R2. I haven't played at Xbox in forever, but the triggers on the top, RT. That's what it's called. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Okay. The impulse triggers means if you barely tap it, you just tap it just a little bit, it will detect that and it speeds up games. Like if you're playing Call of Duty, you can rapidly fire very easily without pulling the whole trigger in or just a little bit or whatever. It's impulse. It's fast. Also with the controllers, it's not confirmed yet, but it might have USB charging. I'm pretty sure it does, but the controllers, I'm pretty sure it has USB charging. It does not have battery packs. They're all integrated. They are completely all integrated. So it all has, the controller has 2 new buttons. They look different. I'm pretty sure they function exactly the same, but the new start button looks a little bit different. And then the button on the left is the Windows button, so you can switch between Windows, or aka the back button, which nobody ever used anyway. So now let's talk about Smart Glass. What I was talking about before with controlling, the internet with your phone or your smartphone. Well, Microsoft made this thing called Xbox Smart Glass. What Smart Glass is it's like an app for your tablet or your smartphone, like an iPhone or an Android phone. You just download this and you can control your Xbox from your phone or your smartphone. You can control it from there. Now you may think, why would I do that? Well, you can control it from anywhere. If your Xbox is connected to Wi-Fi and you are connected to Wi-Fi, no matter where you are, even if it's not Wi-Fi, if it's 3G, you can control your Xbox from anywhere, and that's a really neat feature. Okay, so now here is a couple really kind of dumb things about it, but it's whatever. It is not backwards compatible. And what I mean by backwards compatible is it does not play games from the 360. And why doesn't it do that? Well, literally, it is because the Xbox One is so advanced that older games like that just aren't reasonable for it to play. It just can't do it. It's not backwards compatible, and it saves money. And there's no used games anymore. Used games will have a fee to play, and there's a rumor going around saying used games are going to be completely eliminated, but there might be a small fee to play a used game, but that's the point of storing it in the cloud. If you have a game, you just store it in the cloud and go anywhere you want, and instead of giving the game to somebody else, you can just instead of giving the game to somebody else, you just give them like your account information, which kind of sounds dumb, but there's no used games anymore, which really stinks because used games, everybody's always used games. They've always, just said, hey, can I borrow a copy of this game or that game? And no, you can't do that anymore. You're gonna have to pay full price. So what does that mean? That means literally you are not buying the disc. You are buying a license to the game. When you buy the disc, you install it onto your system, and now the disc is useless. You're not buying discs anymore. You're buying licenses. It may still come. It will definitely still come with a disc, but you're buying the license to it. Once you buy the license to it, the system will read it as used. So whenever system you put that into next, it'll read the disc as used, and you have to pay a fee to reactivate the disc. Okay, so the last point I'm going to say, which kind of has me confused, is the controller has Wi-Fi. The Xbox controller itself has Wi-Fi, which I'm very confused on why it has Wi-Fi. If it has something to do with Bluetooth, which connecting to a headset, which would be really cool. I really hope that Xbox includes a Bluetooth headset in the console, not in the console, but in the package with every console you buy. I'm pretty sure they will, actually. I don't know, though. I hope they don't go back to those wired things that were terrible. But it has Wi-Fi, so I'm really confused about that. Maybe it has something to do with TV on the Xbox, but I'm not sure. So that is the wrap for the PMcast today. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at LucasGotTech, and I will be making sure to make more PMcasts every Wednesday. I'll make a new PMcast. So the next one, I'm not sure what it's going to be about. Probably the Xbox One again, but I'll think of it then. So until next Wednesday, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.